welcome back to the channel. So the 7th of January 2020 was a very sad day in the history of rock music. It was on this day that Neil Peart sadly passed. So it's been 3 years since his passing, and today I thought I would select a track as a tribute to the great man, and have decided to go with A Farewell to the Kings. One of the most outstanding drummers that's ever graced rock and roll, progressive rock, whichever genre you want to class Rush in. They became such a wonderful group that lasted over so many years. No dramas, no fuss, no histrionics, just played seriously good music, and Neil was responsible for 99.9% of the lyrics that were written for the tunes. Aside from that, played the most amazing and outstanding and uncompromising drum patterns that I think you've ever seen in the history of rock and roll. So it's a sad occasion today, but we'll celebrate it to the best of our abilities and we'll react to A Farewell to Kings. At the end, I'd like to hear any of your thoughts and remembrances of Neil in particularly, and leave those in the comments below. Classical opening here. Little synthesizer. Neil on the percussion there. Xylophone? Glockenspiel? Either one, never quite sure. Then an explosion. I love Geddy's coat there.
When they turn the pages of history, when these days have passed long ago, will they read of us with sadness for the seeds that we let grow? We turned our gaze from the castles in the distance.
A really nice track there, a fitting tribute to Neil Peart. A track that encapsulates many different formats for the band. We have Neil Peart playing this time on his percussion instruments. I think it's a glockenspiel or a xylophone, I'm never quite sure which one it is. We had Geddy Lee on keyboards and we had Alex playing acoustic guitar. The lyrics that Neil wrote it was about a song that was dealing with hypocrisy and finding your own way by looking within yourself. There's references obviously to the Middle Ages imagery here. There's castles, there's knights. Even in the video you've got the castle scene and the castle setting, which by the way it was all filmed in Mid Wales in Monmouthshire, both that video and it was recorded there as well. It's a subject that's been a challenge for many an age, and the reference back to the medieval times is exactly that. There have been struggles with how people look at hypocrisy, and hypocrisy very much in the style of have I looked after things well. It was very much a looking back exercise to see really how you'd done. So were the lessons to be learned. Interesting lyrics throughout. Verse 1, when they turn the pages of history, when these days have passed long ago, will they read of us with sadness for the seeds that we let grow? We turned our gaze from castles in the distance, eyes cast down on a path of least resistance. So there straight away you've got that relevance to looking back. The chorus then kicks in, cities of hatred, fear and lies, withered hearts and cruel tormented eyes. Scheming demons dressed in kingly guise, beating down the multitude and scoffing at the wise. It's easy to sit on the sidelines. Verse 2 continues, the hypocrites are slandering the sacred halls of truth, ancient nobles showering their bitterness on youth. Can't we find the minds that made us strong? Can't we learn to feel what's right and what's wrong? What's wrong? So we're asking the question, what did I do right? Can you tell me what I did wrong so I can improve next time? Chorus kicks in again then, and then we just have the outro of can't we raise our eyes and make a start? Can't we find the minds to lead us closer to the heart? So very much saying about, look, this is what's gone on, perhaps make a fresh start. Really deep lyrics, and when you just get into them a little bit, it's a fascinating subject and extremely well written about by Neil Peart, as ever. His lyrics are absolutely bang on the button. And one of the strengths of the band was the fact that the lyrics were always so on point and so challenging and thought-provoking. It's a really good track. It's done as a commemoration of Neil Peart's passing, which was today, the 7th of January in 2020. It'd be great if you could leave me some comments down below of your experiences of Neil and of the band. What lyrics did Neil write that really grabbed you by the heart, made you stop and think? I'm sure that there will be some great examples out there. I hope you've enjoyed this reaction today. It's a little bit different. There's an element of sadness, but also an element of celebration as we look back towards this wonderful person, this wonderful writer, lyricist, drummer, and all round just good egg. There's not a lot that you ever hear about Neil Peart that is of a negative nature. Thanks very much for joining me on this one, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time on the Album Review channel. Bye for now.